Hi, I'm Holly Jones. In this presentation, Bossa Insight is going to tell you the brand story for the state of North Carolina. Our framework for the story can be summarized by the slogan, North Carolina for all seasons. This is a cohesive and authentic message that is easily adaptable to resonate with our dearest audiences, our people, our businesses, and our guests. Let's begin with our guiding principle. A guiding principle adds clarity to decision making and can serve as our navigational focal point, no matter what decision is on the table. It's our answer to the question, what should North Carolina stand for? Here's our answer. Fertile ground for our people, for our businesses, and for our guests in all seasons of their lives. When building a brand, it's important to be mindful of the power of internal branding. Insiders with a passionate emotional connection can be your strongest brand advocates. Therefore, it's absolutely vital to have a robust understanding of self-identity. If North Carolinians don't recognize themselves in the state brand, it simply won't stick. Our first step in identifying the right message was to ask the experts, North Carolinians. Using our expertise in conducting qualitative interviews, we conducted primary exploratory research to learn from North Carolinians what makes North Carolina for you. Their responses centered around three major themes: the natural environment theme, with mentions of climate, geography, and plant life; the relationship theme, with remarks centering around people, hospitality, community, family, and friends; and the variety theme. We heard, "You've just got it all: mountains, coast, city, small town, strong universities, music, arts, culture, basketball, NASCAR, and all four seasons." No matter which demographic or socioeconomic group our North Carolinian belonged to, we heard these same three themes with predictable regularity. In 2009, Trone Incorporated asked 1,900 people across the United States who had never lived, worked, nor vacationed here, what comes to mind when you think of North Carolina? The word cloud on the left shows their responses. Compare that to the word cloud on the right, which reflects the responses of North Carolina residents. You can see some obvious similarities, and it's not surprising that the perceptions of North Carolinians are more complex and in-depth. Looking at external statistical data, in the context for comparing North Carolina with other states identified as competitors in business and entrepreneurial recruitment, investor recruitment, and travel and tourism, we found that the greatest competitive position relative to other states was along the intersection of business climate and recreational landscape. Combining these two ideas, North Carolina's self-perception with North Carolina's competitive advantage, North Carolina's brand position started to become very clear. So, what should North Carolina stand for? North Carolina's core brand values center around the following three ideas: responsibility to each other, as teammates, not as part of a ranked hierarchy; an emphasis on opportunity variety, which is multidimensional and not limited to a single axis of opportunity. For example, educational opportunities, range of industries, landscape, city size, and leisure activities. The third core brand value is our connection to the natural environment, with an emphasis on leisure, sustenance, and aesthetic beauty, not as an ideological movement. The North Carolina Economic Development Board has named 6 areas as key areas to address in sub-branding efforts. They are infrastructure, quality of life, education, people, business climate, and innovation. The 3 identified core brand values correspond very well to these 6 key areas. This chart shows how these values map to the key areas and provide inspiration for the messaging guide we will use to address each area. So considering all of this, what's our brand promise? What do we promise to deliver to our target audiences every time? Charming Southern hospitality, vibrant communities of innovators, and extraordinary natural beauty. This brand promise is true to ourselves and who we think we are, and is well positioned against other states in the region. Tied closely to the brand promise, let's take a look at North Carolina's brand personality. If North Carolina were a person, what would he or she be like? North Carolina is down to earth, has a certain flavor of intelligence that I call native wit, and is just plain lovable. Because these traits sync well with our brand promise and also do a really good job describing the personas of some of North Carolina's most widely recognized citizens, such as Annie Griffith, Michael Jordan, Billy Graham, Elizabeth Dole, and Ben Folds, we know we're on the right track. So now let's tell our brand story. We want to make sure that we're doing justice both to who we really are, as well as what we want to tell the market that we are. So once again, here's our brand promise. Charming Southern hospitality, vibrant communities of innovators, and extraordinary natural beauty. What's some evidence that our brand story makes sense? Let's start with number 3, extraordinary natural beauty. Over the past 5 decades, North Carolina has done an excellent job showing the world photographs of our most beautiful places. It's no mistake that many filmmakers choose the landscape of North Carolina as the perfect backdrop to tell their most important stories. Number 2, vibrant communities of innovators. These days, North Carolina is chock full of technology companies such as SAS, Red Hat, Lenovo, IBM, and Cree. The Research Triangle Park is home for more than 100 biotech and pharma innovators. Many are familiar with the 2 most widely known examples of North Carolina's legacy of innovation, NASCAR and the first piloted air flight that occurred in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina in 1903. North Carolina is also home for many modern-day agribusiness and clean energy innovators. Number 1, charming Southern hospitality. You don't have to look very far for examples of warmth and kindness of North Carolina. You can see it in the character of our buildings and the smiles of our people. And you can taste it in barbecue, biscuits, and sweet tea. Here's our sample brand story framework for all seasons. It evokes the nature and beauty of the climate that many people already associate with North Carolina. It's simple, flexible, accurate, and enduring. It can be taken literally, winter, spring, summer, or fall, but it doesn't have to be. For example, consider the seasons experienced by an individual business. Bloom season would be the startup phase. The thrive season is the season when companies grow stronger and enjoy the fruits of success. The renewal phase is when a company may enter a new market or experience a strategy change. Here's one way we can tell this story. Nurturing North Carolina businesses is good for all of us. Here's how we demonstrate our commitment to our businesses in each growing season. The key here is to emphasize the variety of opportunities, our responsibility to one another, and to do it with an agrarian vocabulary that represents our connection to our natural environment. For companies currently in the bloom season, we can talk about support organizations such as Blink, SBTDC, SBCN, financial incentives like the Job Development Investment Grant and the One North Carolina Fund, and access to markets. We have the 6th largest airport hub in the U.S., the 2nd largest highway system, and 2 major seaports. For companies in the Thrive season, we can mention our business climate statistics, such as our place on the Forbes Best States for Business and Careers list, and use our current website, thrivenc.com, to provide multiple case studies showing how North Carolina businesses have experienced success in a range of industries. For companies in the renewal phase of entering a new market or repositioning themselves, we can mention our financial incentives and strong university partnerships that are a source of innovation research and an amazing pool of talent. How will we tell this story to our guests? When delivering our tourism message, we'll focus once again on our brand promise: charming Southern hospitality, vibrant communities of innovators, and extraordinary natural beauty. We'll articulate it in terms of things they can know before they come and feel once they arrive. This slide provides some ideas that can serve as a starting point, but really, the options are endless. How will we tell the story to our people? There are a variety of ways to articulate our brand story to those who live within the North Carolina borders. Messages will center around our 3 core brand values: our responsibility to each other, the variety of opportunities available to North Carolinians, and to do it in a way that highlights our connection to our natural environment. How will we tell the story to our leaders? For our leaders, we offer this guiding principle: fertile ground for our people, for our businesses, and for our guests in all seasons of their lives.